I'd like to introduce Dr. Guldal.
Thanks. I don't know how to follow a prophet.
Sorry.
I'm like, okay, that was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. How about this week? Cold enough? Has it been cold enough? It's been amazing. So thank you for getting out of bed and being here. It's an honor to be here again, Center for Conscious Living. So yes, my name is Dr. Guldal. I'm going to give you just a moment of who I am. As a psychologist specializing in body, mind, and a naturopath working in the body through indigenous healing, and a medicine woman who's a spiritual teacher and an intuitive healer, coming forth and speaking and teaching in a more public forum has been my calling this year. I've resisted this for many, many years, and yet here I am. So thank you for joining me. I so appreciate that. It's interesting because I knew when we put that topic out there and we talked about it, what are the men going to say? What are they going to think this is about? But truly, we chose this topic because the women had a goddess party. Is everyone hearing me? Okay. The women had a goddess party 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. And we didn't want to leave the men out because the hidden secret of the goddess isn't that you want to awaken the divine feminine. It's a piece of that. But the hidden secret of the divine goddess is to understand and know what type of God forms are accessible, what they mean, and to know that they live and reside in you. So today isn't about becoming feminine. Today is about grabbing that warrior spirit and finding all the different archetypes of what represents goddess that lives within us, because in the golden age, it's time for things to shift. And according to the ancient Vedic astrologers and the saints that have written about this time, this is the time when the goddess within everybody, the goddess form of God, will awaken in hopes of war ending and consciousness rising and people being able to understand each other, but always doing that with the fierceness of protection. So that is what we're going to talk about today. But as I get started, I want to point out my medicine bundle over here. It's very important, as being a member of the Native American Church and being a spiritual healer, that everything that we do, you can hear me, right? You're so excited. That everything that I do happens in ceremony. So although this is a church space, wherever I go when I open my bundle is a church of indigenous healing of the ancestors, the gods, and the divine. So in my bundle, each and every time, I have a big one, of course, but each and every time I speak, my bundle will be representative of the topic of the day. So what I have in my bundle today is an energized statue of Mahameru, which is the legendary mountain where Shiva and Parvati reside at the very top. And the 9 dimensions are all of the 9 dimensions of the being and the soul. I also have a yantra that was created by my guru when I went to a goddess retreat in October, I think. And many other items that are very sacred, energized, and blessed. So may those blessings be a part for you today. And I'd like to take a moment. The person that introduced me to the concept of the goddess 21 years ago, Marge Rohde, passed 2 weeks ago. And I'd like to dedicate this talk to her in her honor of her bringing this spirit to me many, many years ago. So here's to you, Marge, and to all those other wonderful people that have come through all of our lives and passed through our lives. So, what is an archetype? We hear the word all the time. Well, according to Carl Jung, it's a primordial image. These are primordial images that reside within us, that are unconscious, that is about all of humanity, every aspect of humanity. And the beauty of this collective unconscious, of these archetypes, is that they are images. And they are images because our soul and our midbrain and that deep part of our body only recognizes images. And we know this through sacred geometry, through mandalas, hypnosis. Anything that is about transformation is an image. It's never words. How many of us have used words to change and transform ourselves? I have said this, which they're very important. Don't let me put words down. But they don't penetrate the inner psyche because they don't connect to the archetypal beings that are us. They don't connect to the primordial images that are us. So Jung calls that the sage in man, the sage in humanity. So I kind of like that, awaken your inner sage. It's kind of fun. Jung also stated that religious experience is linked with the experience of the archetypes. So that God himself lives within us in order to bring us to wholeness, a psychic wholeness. So from a psychologist, a mystical psychologist, these ideas of a collective unconscious, we're all familiar with that. We're also familiar with that in the terms of story. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, many, many years ago, in her groundbreaking book, Women Who Run with Wolves, she brought forth generations, thousands of years of stories from all around the world, stories that were passed down orally. We have Grimm's fairy tales, we have these, but these stories were passed down. And what she discovered, being a Jungian psychotherapist, is that every single story was dressed differently. It was dressed to the region, it was dressed to the culture, but the story was absolutely the same. And what's the power of story? When you close your eyes and you hear a story, you see pictures, don't you? The words bring forth pictures because there's something in the essence of the story that awakens the archetype within. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to awaken those archetypes within so that we can transform ourselves. So that's the Jungian take on it. Want to hear my take? Mm-hmm. Okay. Here's how it goes. From a spiritual perspective, we have a karmic knowing that's imprinted into our DNA. Every single one of us has a karmic knowing of every single soul incarnation possible, coupled with an imprinted knowing of transformation and transcendence. That's what archetypes are. And it's up to us to utilize this Shakti, this energy, these images, to awaken that within us so that we can use that awakening as a bridge to connect to the actual energy of that being, whether it's Lakshmi or Mother Mary or Tara or Artemis. When we connect to that being, we awaken and we receive and we open that, we become one with that. And in that moment, not only do we transform ourselves and we remove blocks to what stops us, we connect to the energy of that archetype. Whether it's compassion, protection, abundance, fierceness, and the mother of all things, we have to invite that. And in that invitation, it awakens in us, and we bridge and connect to the absolute energy and the essence of what that is. Because around us that we don't see, all of these energies live. I can say flower, we all understand, we get instant images of flowers. So I can say Holy Spirit, I can say God essence. But when I start describing the garden, the red rose, the lavender rose, the carnation, the dandelion, they're all flowers. Each and every one has a different beauty, has a different resonance in our soul, has a different medicine because it has a different vibration. Each one of those are a medicine, are they not? So this is a very similar way that we can talk about the archetypal gods. So it's a good thing you men are here today. You're going to miss this. So what I'd like to do, so I'm going to take the microphone, I'm going to come up there because I can't be back here when I'm doing a healing. Okay. What I would like to do is have all of you close your eyes. I saw it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Have all of you close your eyes. And let's get set in motion our ability to receive, transform, and transcend by connecting to our archetypes today. So those of you that don't know me, let me give you just a moment. When I do a visualization and a healing, an energy that comes through me is given to you. So this exercise today will be an energy healing, an intuitive healing, along with something that you can take home and do, because it's an attunement. You will carry this frequency forever. So I invite you all to just listen to my voice. Take a deep breath. And envision at the very top of your head the most beautiful white lotus. And it's closed. And gently, as this white lotus begins to open, gently, 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 it lays across the top of your head. And you start to feel the stem, you know, the long root that takes it all the way deep into the water. You start to feel that enter your midbrain from the top of your head. And when it gets to the middle of your brain, it stops for a moment and it finds your pituitary gland. Your pituitary gland matches your third eye, so open your third eye and feel that match the root of that white lotus. And now your pituitary gland is awakening. And take a moment, because all of you are being worked on, and feel the sensation. You're making oxytocin. You're quieting your adrenals. And now the pineal gland is awakened. It sits just a little bit above the pituitary. And as the crown and the third eye connect and open up your pineal and your pituitary gland, you're going to start feeling like an earth throbbing, as if we were all of a sudden in Africa, and you can feel the drum beats of the tribal lands. Or we're in Missouri with my people, and the drums are beating deep inside your brain. 4.5 beats. And as the beautiful Amarta awakens in your pineal gland, feel that beautiful blessing, that white shiny root of that lotus, come down the base of your neck, through your spine, all the way to your tailbone, and your entire insides are the same color and the oneness with that lotus. There is no difference between you and the lotus. You are one. And now that starts to emanate out of you. Layer after layer after layer as you become a field of lotus. And the medicine of the lotus. Spiritual awakening, transcendence, physical health, ageless beauty, timeless youth, purity. It is running through every single cell, every molecule of your being. Those of you on the right side of the room, a couple of you, open your heart a little bit more. Let it in. Allow this moment to begin transformation. As the divine is here with us. Back of the room, last row, your throat, one person, that's it better. As I come through, you'll feel me, making sure all of you are in the same vibration. Now we're going to chant Om all together 9 times. Ready? Om. This is just the beginning. So repeating mantras is the easiest way to transform everything, because sound is a vibration, it's a frequency. When I was a little girl, the thing that fascinated me the most was to see something pop out of the earth that had no backbone. You know, this little piece of grass, pop out. How did it do that? I used to sit there forever. How'd you do that? Because the earth was hard. I just didn't get it. How is it that a child goes to bed and gets up the next morning and is an inch taller? The miracle of growing bone, brain, cells, adrenal glands, stomach, intestines. It hurts, right? They hurt. But they do that. Puppies, you turn around, they're picked off. That's all sound frequency. It's all frequency. Cells replicating, transformation. We don't have to replicate the same DNA because we have implanted within us the archetypes of all that, which is great. So how does one pick which of the thousands of goddesses to talk about? So I picked 3. We'll see if we get to all 3, but I wanted to just read some goddesses that we're familiar with, because it's not just the Hindu religion, right? In Christianity, Mother Mary has become a goddess inside of our souls. The Greek goddess of love and beauty, Aphrodite. Artemis, the goddess of hunting and vegetation. Athena, wisdom and war. Demeter. Devi, the Hindu goddess of pure existence. Her sound is the beginning and end of all things. She is the beginning, she is the end, as every goddess. She is the mother of all of them. Diana, the Roman goddess of hunting. Gaia, the Greek goddess of Mother Earth. Juno, the Roman goddess of all women. Kuan Yin, the Buddhist goddess of compassion. Lakshmi, one of my favorite. She's beautiful and rich. Can't beat that. Minerva, the Roman goddess of art. Tara, the Tibetan goddess of compassion and tantric. Venus, Roman goddess of love and beauty. Remember, each goddess, and this is like nothing compared to the thousands that are out there, has their counterpart in a god. Parabrahma is the oneness of all things, that which is feminine, that which is masculine. We're talking about the goddess today because it's the golden age. And because there's something fascinating about the goddess archetype, because she's always fierce. Kali has 24 bloody skulls as a necklace. She's no win. But the goddess is also what's been missing in the souls of humanity, because she is what raises consciousness. She's the creator of all things. She's the divine mother. So the best way to reach her is through sound. So I picked Tara. Does everybody know Om Tara Tu Tare? Right? You guys want to chant that? Tara is the goddess of compassion. And in the Tibetan Buddhist structure, she's the same goddess, but she's different colors. So their metaphor for the different aspects, the different dimensions, whether it's abundance, wealth, compassion, are in colors. So I always love the way that sounds, right? Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Swaha. When we chant and we bring forth, our heart opens up to that dimension. It opens up, to use the flower analogy again, to the rose, to the dandelion, to the daisy. It opens up to that medicine. When we have an understanding of a particular goddess, if we want something, for example, we want more compassion, we can chant Tara. If we need that. If we need more money, we're certainly going to chant Lakshmi today, because she's fun to chant to, and she's beautiful, and she's hanging out, so we have to do that. Durga, the mother of all goddesses. She has 12 arms. You see her on a lion. And those arms are full of things for love, compassion, and weaponry, because she will protect us. She will remove all obstacles out of our way, to get out of our way those things that block our transcendence. We're not supposed to suffer. We're supposed to learn suffering and transcend it. We're not supposed to hang out there our whole lives. And that's where archetypes come in. So Durga, let's just move to Durga. We're kind of looking at time. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. when we chant to Durga, who's on the lion, what happens? Because we now have a little bit of an understanding who she is, we have an image that our subconscious can awaken and pick that dimension out of this vast universe. It becomes a whole in itself. And then we use her sound to bridge and change our cellular structure, because when we use the sound correctly, our palate moves a certain way. Our tongue moves a certain way. That moves our midbrain a certain way. That sends out a vibration based on that movement. Isn't that cool? It's neat, right? So we're sending out that vibration, and we're receiving, we're inviting the goddess to come. But we can only do that because we're awakening her within. So we bridge and we come together and we become one. So Durga is important because she will remove bad karma. She will clear your head of those imprints that aren't working. She'll remove the obstacles in your way that block you from having all that you desire. And she will protect you like no one's business. So, would you like to chant Durga? Now we know that in the Hindu tradition, the number of times makes a difference. We're not going to do 1,008 today. We won't do 108. But we're going to do some. 9? Should we stick with the 9s? Okay, you guys all game?
Sure.
So you're going to have to pronounce this correctly because you want to send that right vibration. Om Durga. Pay attention here. Durgaye. Namaha. You notice how inside of your palate? Okay, let's go. Om Durga Durgaye Namaha. Om Durga Durgaye Namaha. Om Durga Durgaye Namaha. Om Durga goes right. Durgaye Namaha. Om Durga Durgaye Namaha. Om Durga Durgaye Namaha. Om Durga Durgaye Namaha. Now keep your eyes closed and focus on what needs to be removed. And see where you're headed. Feel it in your heart. Durga is fierce and beautiful, and she is you, and you are her. And quietly inside of your heart, and you're deep in your midbrain, chant 3 times to remove the obstacles that you carry, that block you, that stop you, that are no longer needed from this moment forward. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. The fun thing about science, and that I get to be a science geek too, is I love to connect the dots. And the new science, the way that we can measure things, has shown that mindfulness and sound, prayer, literally changes our brain. One of my favorite pieces about this comes from my psychological background. So many people don't have enough oxytocin. Do we know what oxytocin is? It's the bonding chemical. It's what makes us have the experience of bliss. It's what allows intimacy, allows us to trust and forge relationship. It starts in labor. It starts during nursing. Most of us don't have enough. We spend life lonely, unable to connect, yet our soul yearns for that. We have anxiety, we have sadness. A little bit of oxytocin is an amazing thing. Okay, so now science is making it a nasal spray and a pill. It's great, very expensive. But you can chant your way there. You can chant your way there. Even if you don't believe, even if this isn't a resonance in your heart in the way that your soul does spirituality, when we sit in prayer, when Catholics do the rosary, We are repeating sounds. We are repeating in a focused intention. And that creates oxytocin. It gives us a sense of bliss. That quiets our adrenal glands. That brings us intelligence. This is another way to the same place. It's another radio channel. These frequencies are another radio channel. And they're fun because they're happy. And when you pull up the images of the goddesses, they're beautiful and they're colorful. And what I love about them, abundance isn't just money. Abundance is nourishment and relationship and time and rest and joy and fun and making love. This is what we're supposed to be doing, all in devotion. So even if you don't believe, make sounds. Chant. Say Mary. Say Maryam. Say it in Sanskrit. Mater Mariami. See, doesn't that just sound amazing? Mater Mariami. Yeah, right? Goosebumps? Absolutely. It's amazing. So, when our heart opens in oneness with the sound, remember antennas? We're all too young for this, but do you remember hearing our grandparents talk about TV antennas? Right? And they'd have to like stand like this, or like this. Okay, stand right there, honey. I got it. Think about that. We took that for granted, but what are they doing? Right? Granted, we're more sophisticated than that, but and I don't remember it. My great-grandparents were talking about it. Girl can try. But you know, when you do the antenna thing, that's what sounds do. Right? Mudras do that. So even if it's not the way you do spirituality, know that sounds. Now we have the science, a lot of fun. Maybe one day we'll do a talk on the science. I don't want to take us out of our heart and into our head. Just know, they are sacred resonances, sacred vibrations that are the key to unlocking different dimensions of archetypes and DNA imprints of our karma and our soul's yearning. Period. So I say that we take these sacred sounds and we know deep in our heart that these sounds bridge thought to matter. Thought to matter. That we are inviting this into our being. You know the key? Psychologists know that the key, one variable makes the difference for adults that grew up in abusive, dysfunctional families when they were children. The difference between those that become high-functioning, resilient adults and those that don't. One thing, do you know what it is? They've called it the resiliency factor. Somewhere along the line, somebody was kind, caring, clear, and that child received it. Key. Received it. I bumped my head all over with my fairy wings as a kid, dropping love dust everywhere. It wasn't working because it has to be received. Another way to talk about what we're doing today. Invite it in and receive it. Because when we do that is when transformation occurs. Those kids transformed. I can tell you the story. I had a client. I was an intern. They were watching me through the windows. I was so nervous. She comes in, and she's extreme abuse as a child. And I asked her, who loved you? When was the moment you knew it could be different? It's still my favorite question. She said she was watching Father Knows Best. It wasn't a real person. I'm like, really? And she goes, whatever the boy's name. I forget my grandparents' name.
Bud.
Bud. Perfect. So Bud gets in trouble, and they're like, you have to wait till your father comes home. So she's sitting in her bedroom alone watching this episode, and she's thinking in her head, uh-oh, Dad's going to come, and he's going to kick you, and he's just using the F word, she's cussing. He's going to kick the, out of you, and you're in so much trouble. Oh my God, he's going to throw you from wall to wall, he can pummel you. This is what she's thinking as she's watching the show. What happened? Dad came, sat on the bed, put his arm around his son, and they talked about it. The story still moves me. That moment she knew it could be different, and she created a different life. She invited it in. So let's invite it in today. Let's invite in beauty, forever youthfulness, abundance in all of its forms, And let's chant in joy and devotion. You want to know why I like Lakshmi? She loves to dance. She's beautiful. She rides on a lotus. Who doesn't want to do that? She holds a lotus. And she believes in bliss, joy, youth, and health. She has a seed sound, shreem. My guru, Dr.Guldal, he likes to use the seed sounds because they're easy. You can go shreem, 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 cut all day. So we could do that if you'd like. But now what we could do is start with Om Shreem Lakshmiye. Let's call her name. Om Shreem Lakshmiye Namaha. Envision her beauty. Do you guys feel her? She's so like hanging out. Om Shreem Lakshmiye Namaha. Om Shreem Lakshmiye Namaha. Om Shreem Lakshmiye Namaha. Follow my tempo, we're going to change it. Om Shreem Lakshmiye Namaha. Do a little pure time, come on. Om Shreem Lakshmiye Namaha. Om Shreem Lakshmiye Namaha. Good. Om Shreem Lakshmiye Namaha. Now open your hearts, we're doing Shreem. Shreem, 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 Shreem. Feel it through your whole brain, keep chanting, I'm going to talk. I'm going to guide you. Shreem, Shreem, Shreem. Feel it into your brain. Feel these sounds in the color of a white wine. Through your crown. May it fill your entire face. May it fill your heart. Feel the resonance of joy. Notice how bliss just is everywhere. And who says spirituality doesn't rock? When you're ready, feel the light within you. Feel the transformation of your cells. Notice how everything is different for you. Look at their smiles everywhere. Love that. Let's end with just a quick knowing. The vibration of sound is what takes thought to matter. When we chant the right sounds in the right way enough, we can change our neurochemistry. We can bring ourselves to bliss. That's a cascade effect for overall wellness and joy. The side effect is you start getting what you want. Not so bad. What also happens when you chant these beautiful sounds and you create oxytocin in your body, you start reading cues from others better. Empathy increases. You enjoy the making love of life with a higher intensity, and you have a stronger empathy and the muscles to enjoy it. I say it's worth that. Thank you very much. It's good to be here.